Hey guys, so today we're going to do a Bioshock 2 review. So, Bioshock 2 takes place, basically the main story takes place about 10 years after Bioshock 1, around 10 years. You're focusing on the first big day ever built called Delta, and basically Delta's pretty cool. He's much more powerful than Jack, the main character of the last game. He's got the drill, he gets a rivet gun, which is a little bit more powerful than the pistol, kind of. And you get all these new weapons, upgrades, new plasmids, some old plasmids returning, but the new old plasmids get way more powerful than in the last game. Um, the story is about as I think the first one's still better, but the second one doesn't really have. It's entertaining, but it's not as powerful as the first one. And this is not just because like sequels have to be like this is not original. I think they could have made it even better than it was, and it's got nothing to do at all with game developers. It has to do, with the people making them. They just have to put a little more effort into making the games more, as some people would say, better stories. Assassin's Creed 2 had a great story, and you know what? It was a sequel, so there would have to be the first game to be a good story. All right, so let's move on from the one player is pretty fun. Gameplay hasn't changed that much. New splicers, new upgrades, new everything. Basically, if you like the first game, you like the second game. If you did like the first game, it really is not that much improved here enough. The gameplay didn't change that much, where you would be excited about it because the new Uncharted 2 or something. It's definitely not like that. Um, but it's definitely a buy if you're a big fan of Bioshock 1. Get 2. The multiplayer. Let's move on to the multiplayer. So I could have done a review the second day it came out because I beat the game. Second day it came out. Yeah, that was very fun. But let's talk about why I want to play the multiplayer. I got to level 20 actually. I thought, I'll get to level 10 and stop. The multiplayer for me was addicting. Not for everyone it will be, but to me the perk system works out pretty fairly. It's pretty fun, and every level you get new perks and new trials you have to do. And I am now probably have 25 trials I still have to do, or 20 at least. At one point I was kind of catching up with the trials. Like, I was only 5 I haven't done. Now I'm at like 20. So really the trials you're trying to do, but the more you do, and the harder ones you do, the closer you get to being at the next level. So anyway, so basically, if you don't know, here's some pictures from the game. The big sister. Fun to fight. You kind of wish you would be her in this game, but you're not gonna be the big sister. Let's see, there's any other. Bam, Big Daddy. No, there's the new machine gun type thing. No more Tommy gun. That's what I got here. Showing the ice plasmid. Yeah, and the rivet gun. The rivet gun, which is not. I don't really like the rivet gun too much. In my opinion, it's kind of BS. And if you don't know, Bioshock by Game Informer anyway. If you have subscription, was number 27. Number 27, Bioshock 1 was number 27. I don't think this game will live up to the predecessor. Andrew Ryan, great villain, and if you know what happens in Bioshock 1, the reason that Bioshock 2 kind of was gonna have not as much of an impact. But definitely Delta was a cool hero. Is Delta? Delta looks cool. He acts cool. Everything about Delta is cool. Everything. Rapture, and I mean. Will probably give my thoughts on Bioshock 2, like how it ended everything later on. That would be very spoil. I don't want to give any spoilers away. Um, but the series will continue for sure, and the second game was good, but I'll have to say that the one player anyway, Assassin's Creed 2 kind of beats it because, hopefully the next game you could be free roam. They need to do that. Fallout just proves why that works so well, and so is like Assassin's Creed. Like, that formula of if you can just make free roam, everyone loves that. Like a free living city. Rapture feels good, but it feels kind of linear. You don't really you play it once, and yeah, you want to go back, but once you play the multiplayer, which is linear, you're kind of like, well, why do I need to go back to the game when I've got the same gameplay but non-linearness? So I would say anyone who did like the first one, don't go out and buy it. You're not gonna love it. If you've never played Bioshock 1, why not rent it and play Bioshock 1? And if you like it, definitely get 2. 2's awesome. Um, Mass Effect 1, better one player, but you know what? Bioshock, if it's multiplayer, is a lot of hours. Like, I play, I think, 8 hours now on the multiplayer. Probably play about 10 on the one player, so that's 18 hours in the first week. So, I'm a big geek, though, so that's me. But overall, I think most people that beat the game and then play some online will get at least 15 hours out of it. Just from that, if you go through another run through, be 25 hours. Plus, if you do online, you can get to 30 hours, which is a good amount for the game. And there's gonna be downloadable content soon, I think, for this multiplayer. But maybe they'll have challenge mode or something. I don't get why there was no challenge mode, since in the PS3 version there was a challenge mode. But hopefully they'll add that. So there's my review. Go pick up Bioshock if you like the first one. If you don't like the first one, then I suggest you go play Assassin's Creed 2.